When I arrived in Germany, the hardest part was the winter. I had to get used to cold weather. One of the things I miss most is my family. I do feel at home here in Berlin, but nothing can replace my family.
Christian Adelius was born in 1973 in the Indonesian capital Jakarta and came to Berlin 20 years later as a student. He planned to return to Indonesia after his studies, but he was offered a job as an IT consultant, so he stayed. He met his wife while on holiday in Indonesia. They now have a son. In 2012, Christian took over Tuk Tuk, the oldest Indonesian restaurant in Berlin.
I like to cook, not just because I like to eat. When I was a student, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, was always begging me to cook for her. It's not customary for the men to cook in Indonesia. It's always our mothers. But cooking and trying new dishes was my hobby.
Tuk Tuk was opened in 1984 in Berlin's Schöneberg district, in a side street off the busy Potsdamer Straße, one of Berlin's major thoroughfares. An estimated 250,000 cars drive down here every day. You wouldn't expect the restaurant to get a lot of walk-in customers. But it's become something of a local institution, largely thanks to its authentic cuisine. The name refers to the village of Tuk Tuk in northern Sumatra province. The restaurant's decor recalls traditional village life. There's plenty of bamboo, handicrafts and accessories that Christian Adelius brought back with him from his trips back home.
Indonesia is a very large country made up of thousands of islands. From west to east, each ethnic group has its own speciality. That diversity of dishes is what makes Indonesian cuisine so special.
Sayur Lodeh is a favorite dish in Indonesia. Sayur means vegetable, Lodeh means it's a coconut milk soup. Indonesian food has plenty of variety. Alongside traditional dishes, European, Middle Eastern and Asian cultures have also left their traces in the local cuisine. Sambal oelek is a spicy red chili sauce that's a local staple. It's easy to make yourself, but these days you'll find it in many supermarkets. Most Indonesian dishes are served with rice.
In Indonesia, we serve our food no more than lukewarm. That might be because it's very hot and humid there. So you don't necessarily want your food served hot. Here in Germany, though, people are used to having their food served hot. It's important that we try to take authentic Indonesian cuisine and what European customers tend to prefer, and blend the two.
That's why the dishes at Tuk Tuk are served hot. The rijsttafel, which translates as rice table, is also a familiar part of Indonesian cuisine. A medley of dishes in small portions are served at the table. That way, every diner can try a variety of dishes. The feast was introduced by the Dutch during the colonial era.
The decoration itself is like a typical restaurant in Indonesia, so I feel like at home. Yeah, and the food is also good, great, and it tastes like the food that I used to eat in Indonesia, so I think it's good here.
The people who come here are usually from Indonesia, so it feels like being back at home. I like the spices here. It's just like in Indonesia.
At least once a year, Christian Adelius goes to Indonesia for 5 weeks. He likes to spend time visiting the different regions, sampling local recipes. Then he brings them back home to serve them to his guests in Berlin.
Hari ini kami masak sayur lodeh. Selamat makan.